That's
How do you manage these teams all remotely, whether they're outsourced or within iCare Pro, because you've been very successful in remotely managing teams.
yeah.
How have you found that?
So yeah, no, that's actually very true. It's a very, I think it's something that's very important. So the
It's
first thing is,
difficult
it's very difficult.
because when you're in an office, you can have a team meeting and you can see everybody face to
Exactly.
face and read everybody. How do you do it
Exactly.
remotely? It's
Yeah,
difficult.
it's very difficult. So first of all, I don't believe that emails are really something you should rely upon, right?
Okay.
It leaves too much room for uncertainty and not knowing. I believe in conversing with people, having conversations, talking with them, even if you're just a video editor in the Philippines.
Okay.
Finding out what's going on, ask them questions. I mean, I remember a conversation I had with my video editor in the Philippines, and this was early on when he first came on, and I said, what would help you improve your ability to do your job? And he said to me, oh, everything's great. No, it's amazing. I love the job. And I'm like, what would improve? What do you need? What would make you
Mhm.
do better? Just theoretically. I'm not giving you
Yes.
anything. I just want to know what. Well, he said, like my video card on my computer is pretty old, and a better video card would probably help me do 50% more work. I said, how much does that cost? He's like, $100, but I'm saving up. I said, you got it tomorrow. Go buy it. We'll pay for it. But if you think about it,
And he
uh,
must have been thrilled.
he was thrilled. We got 50% more work for $100.
Absolutely.
So when you listen to somebody, right, you can really find out what it is that they need. And so a big part, I think, of my success in managing multiple teams, multiple projects, multiple things all at once is to be in constant contact with the teams, not even just the senior member of the team, the junior members of the team, like just talking to them on a regular basis, especially with a virtual environment. If you're relegating your leadership style to layers of management and numbers, because it's virtual, people don't think. Remember, going back to the trust thing, I'm trying to build trust in my teams that they know I care about them,
Absolutely.
and I do care about them. And so the only way you're going to do that is to talk to them. If their only communication with you is once in a while they get an email with some feedback that's negative on what they're doing, so they're going to think you hate them.
Absolutely. Right.
So it's important to talk to people, and then that's where the innovation comes from too. So you're talking to them is about leadership, but it's also about innovating, finding out what's needed, what can help, what can.
But you're a really good communicator because you are able to communicate with people right from the bottom all the way up to CEOs and people, presidents of
Yeah.
companies, and you've done that very successfully. And I think that your communication style and just being naturally who you are has really helped you with that.
So yeah, I would even say that like this. I mean, one of the things that's helped me, and I don't know where this comes from, but even when I was in the army and I was, like a little 18-year-old boy, and
Yeah.
I joined as a private, so I was the lowest of the low, and I would go to synagogue services on Friday, and
Yeah.
there aren't that many Jews in the U.S. Army in that time, and if they were,
Right.
they were, medical officers basically, and
Okay.
so at the synagogue it would be like, Colonel so and so, and that's a very high rank. It's one before general, and then
Right.
they'd come looking for me during the week to ask me a question or something, and the lieutenant would be freaked out. Why was a colonel looking for a private? Like, that's unheard
Yes.
of. It's impossible. I don't really view anybody as being superior to any other person. I don't care if you're from Romania or Turkey or from Philippines or from or if you're first tier worker, or if you're the CEO. You all have a valuable part to offer to building a business, right?
Right.
So I just don't see that distinction. I'm not. Maybe it's just a personality thing. I don't know where that comes from necessarily. I've never been like that, so I don't know if that's something I've learned somewhere. I think it's more just part of my nature. Is
But it certainly worked for you.
It's worked very well for me, and I think that was one of the
Absolutely.
reasons why outsourcing has worked for me as well. Is because most people look at outsourcing as, how can I dump off the crappy work to somebody in a cheaper country? And I say to myself, wouldn't it be amazing if you took a guy who thinks that $5 an hour is a dream, and you
Hmm.
get them to be amazing at whatever job they want to be at? Like that's incredible, right? So
But you
when I
don't only do it with the outsourcing people.
oh
You
no,
do. You did that with me.
yeah, no, I do that with everybody. It's my approach,
That's what
right?
I'm saying. Absolutely.
But it's
And
been
you're successful because people do. They do perform under those,
yeah,
you know,
right. They want to
Absolutely.
perform. People want to do better in life. They want to build a skill set. They want to have a future. They want to make more money too, right? And that's one
Yeah,
of the
they
things
want to
that I
be
don't
successful.
shy away from, I think, in my conversations with people who work for me, my teams, is how do
Yeah,
we get you better so you can make more money? Because
absolutely.
like the last thing
That's why
anybody wants to
people
think
work.
is, and a lot of bosses are very scared of that conversation. And they say,
Yeah,
"Ooh, like we'll talk about it at your annual review." No, I want to say like, okay, you're making X right now, like you can do the basic minimum. We can get you your, annual 5% raise, but how do we get you real money where you're actually making a living and you're not,
absolutely.
constantly in debt and you can afford to own a house and you can go on vacation? Like those are conversations that people are worried about, they're thinking about. And I might not have answers for you right now, but if I'm thinking with you on that, that means I'm identifying with what you really want in your life, what you need, what's important to you.
Which
And
brings us back to value.
value, trust, right? I'm working for you.
Correct.
You're my I'm not your boss. You're my boss, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's been
So,
great.
and it's been successful, and nobody can build a business by themselves. One of the things that I've learned the most with the first business I owned that I ended up selling to my partner was you can't do everything, right? It's impossible to do everything, and if you really want to build a great business, it's all about empowering and leveraging the people who work with your business. And
Absolutely.
last thing I would want is for someone to work at my company and then leave, right? Why would you want to leave? As you get better, you become
Right.
more valuable. I see more value in you. I want you to succeed more, right? I
Right.
wouldn't want anyone to leave. That's terrible for the company. It takes years and years to develop somebody who's just incredible, right? Oh,
Absolutely.
for your case, it's taken only a year, but yeah, you can years of working at a specific in a specific industry and company, and with the right kind of mixture of components, you can make somebody just an incredibly powerful tool for growth.
Absolutely. 100%.
All right. Well, that was a great conversation. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
And you look beautiful as always. Bye.